All right, hey everybody, how's it going? All right, so I just have beginner Hebrew today. So we're just gonna review everything I taught. So it's kind of a small crowd today. Hopefully next week will be better. Today's gonna be like a two-part thing because there's too much for me to try to explain in one teaching. So yeah, so we had the letter Aleph was the silent letter. Hope everyone remembers this. We had the letter Bet, which made the B and the V sound. Now remember, I told you if you put a dot in there, it makes a B sound. And without it, it's a V sound. So remember that, because that's going to be we're going to have something similar today. We had the letter Gimel, which was a G sound, like G, never J. Dalet made the D sound. Letter Hey is just like H, even when it's at the end of a word, it's not pronounced, just like in English. Letter Vav is V. Zayin was Z. Letter Chet made the Ch sound. Now I like to transliterate it KH instead of CH because there's no Ch sound in Hebrew. So just to avoid confusion, that's how I do it. And you remember this how to differentiate that from the letter Hey? It's connected right there. Don't forget that. Letter Tet is letter T sound. And the last letter we had so far was the letter Yod, which is a Y sound. So, let's review. Remember our prefixes we've learned so far? The letter Bet means in, at, or with. Letter Hey was hey, or the. And the letter Vav, it was like a nail connecting things, so it's and. So just a reminder. All right, quick reminder of the vowels we had so far. We had these two, kamatz and patach. Remember I mentioned that the names of the vowels kind of help you remember what the vowel makes. So both of these make the ah sound. Just one dot above the letter, or the same dot written with a vav makes the O sound, as in go. And then we have the vav with a dot in it is shuruk, and that makes the U sound. All right. Then last week, our most recent vowels was tsere and segol. They both make the sound. Same thing. Okay, finally some new letters here. We're going to have letter kaf. It's just a little, like a backwards C. Maybe that could help you remember the pronunciation of it because it's a K sound, like K, like a hard C. Now it's a picture of your palm, like that. All right. In fact, the name of this letter is Kaf. The word for palm in Hebrew is Kaf. So that's how we know. Like that's the word for palm in Hebrew. It can mean like palm. It can mean like to cover something, like you lay your palm on it, or like a bowl, like you cup. You cup your palms. So that kind of idea is in the word Kaf. Okay. Now remember how I mentioned the word Bet with a dot in it, and without a dot. This letter has the same thing going on with it. So if you put a dot in it, it's a K sound, K. Without a dot, it's a Ch sound. So that's why I have that like there. So you've kind of noticed, if you remember the letter Bet when it had a dot with it, it's kind of like a hard, like plosive sound. So like B, and this one makes K, right? And with the letter Bet, without a dot, it's more like a softer sound. So V is like Ch, so it's like a softer version. So that could kind of help you remember which way it is with or without a dot. Okay. Our next letter is the letter Lamed. It's the only letter that goes above the line. Like you could kind of imagine, like you have a line here, It's the only letter that has something that goes above it. This is the ancient pictographs. You have a shepherd's staff. In fact, it's kind of like it's kind of like in the shape of an L, isn't it? Yeah. So that's a shepherd's staff, shepherd's hook. Some of the meanings make the L sound. Some of the meanings behind it is like a staff. In fact, the word for a shepherd's staff is malmed, LMD, malmed, lamed. To lead, like authority, to teach. The word to teach is lamad. So lamed, lamad, to teach, guide, direct. Those are the kind of ideas behind like a shepherd's staff. Like he's leading his sheep somewhere. Okay. Now we have the letter mem. In the ancient pictograph, water. There you go. It's a picture of water. Makes the M sound. It could mean like water, or just, the way with pictographs work, like it's just a super general idea. So like it could just be any kind of liquid, really. Now chaos, why would water represent chaos? Some translations even translate the word sea chaos. So where do you find a lot of water? Like in the sea or in the ocean, right? So why would the sea or ocean kind of represent chaos? Well, first of all, like storms blow off from the sea. When you read your Bible and there's a western wind, to the west of Israel is the Mediterranean Sea, and that blows in storms. Another thing is, you can't really grow or live out there, can you? Like you can't grow food. It's like you can't build your house out there. You can't really. There's no paths. How do you traverse such a place just as an average person? Another thing is the salinity out there. The closer you get to the sea, or like as rivers get closer to the sea, they become more saline. Salinity gets higher and higher, and less plants you can grow there. The more plants, they can't tolerate the salt. So, the sea also is eating away at the coastline, and rich people who build their houses on the sea, they got to repair it all the time because it's just always destroying, their houses and stuff. So those are kind of ideas of why it would be chaos. All right. Letter Nun is just like a little bracket. So in the pictograph, all right, well, let's make the N sound. And no, it's not a nun, it's a noon. So pictographs, people say it's like a seed, or to continue, or generation. And a lot of pictographs, that makes the most sense to me. Some people say it's a fish, because in like Aramaic and other Semitic languages, the word noon means fish. So, or it could represent life, like a seed representing life. So, seed, fish, I don't know. I'm just teaching you what people say about it. So, okay. So these are four letters we just learned: Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun. So there's lots of parts of the Hebrew alphabet will parallel the English alphabet. So H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, K, L, M, N. So that's kind of a neat thing there. Help you remember the order that it's in. Okay, now I got to show you how to differentiate these three letters. You can kind of see how, you have like a box shape. People call the Hebrew script like a square script because it's kind of like a box. And this is kind of like a rectangle. It's like half the size. So that's how you can kind of remember the difference between Kaf and Nun. And remember our letter Gimel? Well, that little tiny part right there is what separates it from a Nun. So this is where Hebrew's going to get a little complicated if you're not paying attention, because there's all the letters look really similar. So you got to pay attention to these tiny little details to get used to it. Okay, we have one new vowel today. That's the vowel chirik. Chirik, kind of hard to say. It's one dot, but it's below the letter, not above it. Okay, and it makes the E sound. So one dot below the letter is E. Try and remember that. So we're going to practice with some words. And I kind of realized a little earlier that I kind of goofed this up a little bit, because I was going to do this. Remember, I was going to do this as like a two-part, these four letters. And I did some stuff from part 2 today. So forgive me. All right, so you guys remember this letter? It's the letter Dalet, D. So David, David. All right. This is where I messed up. This is also a letter Mem. Okay, just remember this. This is also a letter Mem. I'll teach that next week. So how we pronounce this? Mayim. What does Mayim mean? Water, waters. There's also that dance move, Mayim, when you're dancing. So it's like you're flowing like water. Okay. All right. Remember, it's connected up here, so it's a ch sound. Chaim. Chaim. What does chaim mean? Life. Like lechaim, to life. Yes. Okay. This is the L sound. So lev. That's the word for heart. There's 2 words or 3 words for heart, but this is kind of one of the more common ones. So lev is heart. Now we have silent letter, so we're going to go straight to the vowel. E. I said this was a mem, so M. M is kind of the opposite of Av. Remember what Av meant? Father, so M is mother. Okay. Almost done. See, I goofed up again. Here's that letter. All right. Cham means hot or warm. It's also one of Noah's sons. His name was Ham or Ham. So maybe he was like stubborn or angry or just a hothead, All right. So here's new letter, Kaf, but it has a dot in it. So it's a K sound. You have the Cholam Vav, the dot over it. That's O and L. So kol, like kol levavcha, with what? All your heart. That's the word ol. And let's see. This was the smallest letter, Yod, is a Y sound. O and Yonah. Yonah. And that's the word for a dove, or like Jonah as we see it. All right. Oh, 2 more. Okay. Remember how to differentiate these letters? You got ga. Oh, I forgot to put the vowels. Okay, so this is actually a good point that I didn't do that. Because if you have to guess what the vowels are, your best guess is to just guess ah. So this is actually ga-nav. Ga-nav means to steal. So when you have to guess vowels, like your best bet is just an ah sound in Hebrew. And I did the same thing. You guys want to guess how it's pronounced? Lamad. And I already said what this word means. It means to learn. So, lamad. Okay, Shabbat Shalom.